Trip Gal.
Looks like everyone's going on holiday. I should treat myself. Maybe go to Japan or Italy. Let me call my travel agent. Hi, I'm looking for a 2-week trip to Osaka, Japan in September. Whatever's cheapest. $20,000. I guess I'm staying at home. It'll be alright. I can buy some ramen noodles and watch some anime. Don't be like our boy Gaza. Narrator man? I've got a name. It's Dave. Did you really need to interrupt me during my tagline? Don't be like our boy Gaza. Forget about rude travel agents and weird inconvenient connecting flights. Make the entire planning and booking experience easy, simple, and enjoyable from start to finish with Skyscanner. Skyscanner price checks with 1,200 travel companies so you don't have to. Sign up for price alerts and they'll tell you as soon as fares change on a flight you like. Then you can decide whether to book or not. Be sure to use Skyscanner next time you're thinking of going on holidays. Links are in the description.
やった!やっと荷造り終わった!家もちょっとは落ち着いた感じ。でもさ、Wi-Fi 開通まで2週間もかかるってありえない。明日絶対新しいゲームやりたいのに。どうすんのよ。引っ越したばかりですぐに Wi-Fi が必要。Wi-Fi レンタル .com ならあなたのニーズに合わせてレンタル可能。1日からレンタル OK。365日年中無休で出荷。午後4時までのご注文で当日出荷も。これですぐにネットが楽しめます。今すぐWi-Fi-rental.com へアクセス。クーポンコード GAL で 20% オフ。この番組はグランドスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
Hey guys, and welcome to Umai, our travel and food podcast where we talk about travel and food. This week we are continuing our little mini series on our Japan trip, and we are talking about
this was one of the highlights of the trip. Costco
in Japan. And if you live in the UK, we're going to kind of get into it, but if you live in the UK, you might not even know what Costco is, or might not have access to a Costco because of the rules and regulations that are in the UK. But Costco is basically a members-only club where you can purchase stuff from a warehouse. It's just easy to explain, but you can buy groceries and a bunch of other things.
Stop there? When you say members-only club, it makes me feel like I'm part of a country club.
Well, that's what it is. Costco is the Costco Country Club. We can play golf. Anyway, that being said, if you do want to support the show or anything like that, you can watch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and now on YouTube, as well as following us on our official social pages, X, Blue Sky, Instagram, and what was the other social media platform?
I don't know. You're the one that runs this podcast.
I don't know. Okay. Anyway, you can follow us on all socials. And big shout out to Japan Airlines and Marriott Bonvoy for making this trip possible and just making it a really awesome trip. Shout out. So yeah, Costco in Japan. So there's actually multiple Costcos in Osaka. There was like 4 of them.
Oh, was there?
But yeah, so the nearest one to us was sort of in between Osaka and Kobe. And that wasn't that far. It took us about 40 minutes to get there.
No, less than that.
Okay. I don't know how long it took us. But
I think literally about like 25, 30 minutes.
You know what? Let me see.
Are you checking your history?
I'm checking my history because we used Takai Suji. You know what? I can't even remember half the places we went to.
I feel like Japan was just so good.
Okay. Anyway, besides the point. Oh, okay. The Costco was in Amagasaki.
Oh, Amagasaki.
Amagasaki in Hyogo.
Yeah.
Which is not that far. We went from Osaka Umeda Station to Sonoda Station, and this is not far. So the Costco, in all seriousness, the Costco is quite close to the airport, and it's in this sort of suburb of Osaka, or it's technically not Osaka. There are ones that are in Osaka, but for some reason we went into Amagasaki.
I had no idea. So we were outside Osaka.
We were outside of Osaka for this one.
So, like, when we tell people in future, where did you visit? We visited Amagasaki, Osaka, Kobe, and Kyoto.
Correct.
That's actually, I love how we just learnt that fact now.
We just learned it now thanks to the
No
Apple Wallet.
no wonder the woman asked us where we were from.
Yeah, so when we were there, we went to Sonoda Station, which wasn't that far because we went to Umeda Station first, and then from Umeda we went to Sonoda. And Sonoda is a very interesting station because it has a lot of different shops. Like there was a homeware shop there. There was like Mr. Donut. There was McDonald's. That was one thing that I want to mention on the future episode.
McDonald's smelled like McDonald's back in the 90s.
Back in the 90s, yeah.
Oh, it was
nostalgic. But we didn't go to the McDonald's there.
Yeah.
And we took the bus. And this is something, the buses in Kyoto versus the buses in Osaka are very different.
Yeah, so when you enter the bus in Osaka, you enter from the front and you pay as soon as you enter into like the bus. But we learned by accident, like, because we were wondering why is the front door not opening? When we were in Kyoto, it's the other way around. So you enter on from what you would think is the exit door of the bus. And then when you're done with your journey, when you come to leave the bus, you leave from the front door and pay on your way out.
Correct.
So interesting.
Which
it works both ways.
It works both ways. But if you're from the UK, you might get confused by it. But obviously we tapped in, and the bus journey was very interesting because you're not allowed to stand on the bus in Japan. They don't let you do that.
Yeah.
They force you to sit down.
Kyoto, when it was packed,
Kyoto
we
is
stood
different,
up. Yeah.
but in Osaka.
Yeah, because the bus driver wasn't moving until one of the locals said that you have to sit down.
Yeah.
Or like, I think the bus driver, bless him, he was trying to tell us to sit down, but we just weren't understanding.
We didn't want to sit down because we were like, it's not that far, you know, we can stand up for this. And we're used to the UK, right?
Like where you stand up on the bus, yeah.
You stand up on the bus and you let the elderly sit down.
Yeah.
But the guy was like, no, you need to sit down. And we're like, okay, cool, we'll sit down.
Yeah, but can we just say it was quite nice that everyone was being polite to us, the bus driver and the locals.
Yeah. And on
Very,
our
very
way
polite.
there, we met a really old lady, and she was asking
Really
us
sweet
questions,
elderly
and she was
woman,
like, hey, where are you guys from?
No. So it was quite funny. We didn't clock on she was speaking to us, but we just kept hearing an old lady saying in English, obviously in a Japanese accent, where are you from? Where are you from? And then we looked up and we're like, are you speaking to us? Like, yes, I'm speaking to you. Like, where are you from? So then we had a full-on and her English was actually quite good. We had a full-on conversation, but obviously to make it easy on her, we used Google Translate using our pocket Wi-Fi, which both apps came in very, very helpful. And we were having a full-on conversation, and she was just really, really nice and intriguing to speak to and very, very welcoming.
Yeah, and it was really cool because we spoke with this lady on our way to Costco, and our Costco journey wasn't that far on the bus. And to be fair with you, I really did enjoy that bus journey.
I really enjoyed speaking to that woman.
Yeah, it was just great. It was just nice. I mean, in general, the bus and obviously speaking to the old lady was really nice as well. But I don't know.
So welcoming.
The bus in Japan was interesting because it actually tells you what station or what bus stop you're at and what's the next bus stop and then the bus stop after that.
Yeah.
And it also tells you how many minutes until the next stop.
Yeah.
So things like that are very considerate because in the UK, sometimes they don't even tell you what bus stop you're at. You know, if the thing's not working, you won't know where you're going or if there's a diversion or anything like that. So, yeah. Of course, in Japan, I think you can still pay by cash.
Yeah, no, but you have to pay with the exact cash because they don't give you change.
Correct. So if you're not paying with the exact
rightly
cash,
so. I think that's the best way of doing it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, but it's easy to pay with exact cash in Japan because you have access to a lot of coins, right? And that was something we had a lot of coins with us in Japan.
Gotchas.
And we spent a lot of it on gachas. But anyway, besides the point. So we basically used our Isioka cards, right? Or Suica cards if you're in Tokyo or whatever. And yeah, the journey on the bus was as expensive as the train.
Yeah.
Which that kind of confused me a little bit because in the UK, the bus journey is cheaper than taking a train.
Yeah.
But I don't think they have that distinction in Japan because I guess you're still using a public transport, whether you're using the train or whether you're using the bus. It makes sense. And bear in mind, like, there are only certain areas that you can only access by a bus, right?
But the bus journey was very pleasant.
It was very pleasant.
Like,
it was very easy.
The buses and trains in Japan are very, very quick, efficient, but also extremely clean.
Yeah, definitely. And that was something
very spacious as well.
That was something that obviously we kind of did, and it didn't take us that long to get to Costco. We got there, and it was very interesting because the Costco experience in Japan, each Costco has a petrol station.
Amazing.
which you can experience petrol stations in the UK and the US, but there isn't that many ones that have a petrol station in the UK. And you are required to show your Costco membership when you're accessing the petrol station as well. So a lot of people go there just to fill up petrol as opposed to buying stuff. So I guess that's probably why a lot of people have Costco cards over there. The moment we went in,
I felt like a VIP when we came in.
I think so. I mean, there's not that many foreigners that kind of go in. And,
Like, they treated us really, really well.
yeah. But like I said, there's not that many foreigners that go into the Osaka or Amagasaki.
Amagasaki, I learned that today.
Amagasaki Costco, which is very interesting because they look and when they scan your Costco card, they can see everything about you. So they know who you are. They know what your face looks like because it's linked to your card. They also know where your card is registered.
Yeah, because they said, "Oh, you from England?" And we're
You
like,
said,
"Yeah."
yes, we're from England. How did you know? Obviously, your Costco card. The first thing they said to us as well was that we had other bags with us, if I'm not mistaken. That there was one day we came in with.
I love this.
So they were like, you can't come in with these bags. And we were like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean we can't come in with our bags?
No, but I love this because this made the journey, like, navigating around Costco so easier. So they were kind enough to take our bags, put it behind the counter, and I think they gave us like a ticket.
Yeah, and which is good because I guess they do that to stop people from theft and stuff like that. But it worked out really well for us because we didn't need to lug all of this stuff around from Costco.
Like, I felt like a VIP.
So the moment we went in, and this is something that I thought was very interesting, the carts are a lot smaller.
Oh yeah, it's like, can I say, even in life, we didn't talk about this in the last episode. They have like really tiny supermarket carts, trolleys.
The
They're
ones
so
in
cute.
life is interesting because it's basically a basket that you put into like a little
Into like a trolley.
Yeah.
It was. I think we need that in the UK. It was fantastic.
I think some shops have that in the UK.
Yeah, but we need more of it.
Okay. But yeah, the Costco ones, it's still quite a large cart, and I would say it's larger than the ones that we get in the UK at a normal supermarket, but it's kind of like half the size of the normal Costco cart.
Not only was the service amazing, can we talk about the free samples?
But yeah, we can talk about anyway. We'll get into it. So the moment we went into Costco, it's very interesting because I'd say it's way more organized than the UK's Costco's because everything has its own purpose. Like you go in and it's just TVs and washing machines and all the electronic appliances. And it's weird because the Costco here in the UK is sort of a free for all. Like everything is still organized, but
a bit mixed up.
It's like I'd say also it's a bit easier to navigate once you know your way around in the UK because you can easily get to somewhere like direct. Like if you know I need to get to the bread, bam, you could just easily get to the bread. In Costco in Japan, you're sort of encouraged to see the whole of Costco, and it sort of takes you around the ring circuit, which is kind of weird. But
it's like Disneyland. It was fantastic.
It was amazing. I think it's so much better than Costco in the UK. So
100%.
the first thing we did was we walked past, and there's a lot more sellers. Like, and maybe in America, Costco users and customers would kind of see more of this, but Costco in Japan was interesting because you had people selling products there. Like
I think Fizzler was one of them.
Fizzler was there. We bought a Fizzler pans, which actually worked out to be so much cheaper.
Can we talk about how it's loads of things, especially in Costco Japan, are way cheaper than buying it in the UK.
And even way cheaper buying it in Japan because there are some places like you can go to department stores and buy jewelry, right? But you can buy pretty much the same quality of pearls or diamonds or gold in Costco Japan for half the price.
Can we talk about the jewelry section in Costco? Like, this was the only way I can imagine. This was the kind of stuff you'd see Michelle Yeoh wearing in like Crazy Rich Asians. They were selling like Burmese rubies. They were selling like, I can't remember what kind of pearl, but
Akoya pearls.
Like, and diamonds and emeralds and like literally this is the kind of stuff you'd see the actors wearing in Crazy Rich Asians. This was like on another level of like jewelry, and it was like sets and bracelets and necklaces. Like this was unreal. And the price, although you know, all of these sets are going to be obviously expensive. Literally, imagine, like, it's way cheaper to have brought them from Japan than to go to like Hatton Garden and buy them here.
Yeah.
And it's the exact same. It's the same.
Exactly.
It's probably an even higher quality from Japan anyway.
And if you purchase in Costco, you also get your Costco points as well. So you can buy everything from there. You can buy luggage. And I think if you're someone that, like us, if you're flying with Japan Airlines and you have a second checked-in bag, buy your luggage from Costco.
If you only came in and you're allowed 2 checked in, you only brought 1 checked in, go and buy your second luggage from Costco Japan.
100%, because it's super cheap. You can buy like full-size bags,
like
for
a full-size
£50
Samsonite
for about £50 worth, and it's just utterly cheap. The moment we went in, we walked past, like, they had like drink sections, like alcohol. You can buy massive bottles of like soju and like nihonshu, like sake. Like, for example, if you wanted to make umeshu, which is like plums, like soaked
love umeshu.
Plums soaked in soju and stuff like that. You can buy the alcohol to do that, right? Like in bulk, like massive 10-liter bottles of nihonshu, and you can buy like whiskeys, all the types of whiskeys that you can buy. Do not bother buying
anything from duty free. Don't
from a duty free or even buying it from a liquor store. Just get it at Costco if you have a Costco card.
The only thing I'd say is just obviously check your regulations and limits with the airline, because there are certain, like, how many liters you can take of alcohol
that
with
is
you.
something, because bear in mind they are selling to people domestically in the Costco.
And it is a wholesaler, so it's going to be way bigger. So just obviously check your limits and regulations of your airline. If you decide to buy alcohol that you want to take abroad, always best to check.
And check your government website as well. Just to make sure. But you can buy that there and just experience, like, even if you wanted to, like, don't get me wrong, you might not need that big of alcohol. Like, you can go to like a combini and get like a really small bottle. But if you wanted to get a gift for someone or anything like that.
I brought beauty blenders from Costco Japan. I think there was like literally 20 in a box of all different shapes and sizes. And it only cost me £15, whereas a Real Techniques beauty sponge for like 2 of them costs me £20 here.
Yeah. So there's a lot of savings.
Insane. Absolutely insane.
We didn't know what we can get from Costco because we kind of went the first day just to look and not buy.
Yeah. For the food court mostly, yeah.
And then the last time, which was on the last week, we went, and by the time we went, we were like, we should have bought a lot of the stuff from the first day. Yeah. So we kind of spent, and this is a hack really for anyone that has a Costco membership in the US or in anywhere in the world, even if you, like we mentioned, we're from the UK. So take your Costco card with you. And experience Costco, because anything you need, toothpaste, you can get it from Costco, it's cheaper. Water, we spent a lot of money on water, you can get it from there cheaper. You can get anything you want. Buy all your snacks from Costco and bring it back to you from the hotel. Obviously take a taxi.
Or even souvenirs.
And souvenirs as well. We bought massive bags of biscuits. Like we bought the Black Thunder bags, right? We paid 800 yen, including tax, 800 yen for a massive kilogram bag of Black Thunder minis, right?
Whereas I think for 300 grams at Don Quixote it was like maybe 500 yen, 600 yen.
So at Don Quixote, the same bag, because I do sell that bag, costs 2,000 yen.
Wow.
So there is a lot of price difference in terms of Costco versus Don Quixote. And like I said, if you don't have Costco, then yes, if you don't have a Costco card, definitely go to Don Quixote.
Don Quixote was still amazing,
It's still cheap. 2,000 yen for that is still quite cheap, but it's cheaper at Costco.
Yeah, and Don Quixote was also really,
like
really
I said,
good.
if you ever need anything, even if it's toothpaste and toothbrushes, just buy it from Costco.
Can we talk about the free samples?
Yeah, the free samples, that was great, because when we went there past the like drinks and soft drinks and stuff, there was a lot of meat. The meat section is so much bigger in Japan.
Literally, they were handing out free samples. I think it was like beefsteak or like A5. It was like A5 Wagyu to try.
It wasn't A5 Wagyu. It was basically what it was. It was bulgogi.
Oh yeah,
That's what they were cooking it up on a hot plate, and they were serving it to people. And the lines were long, and you're like, wait a minute, there's more than one line. Like as you go down, they're all serving the same thing, and there's like 10 different stations serving the same thing.
But when I say
everyone can try.
That the meat will melt on your tongue. It's
the meat quality
fantastic.
in Japan is amazing. And that's another thing. You did mention A5 Wagyu. You can buy A5 Wagyu steaks from Costco. And this is something like in the UK, the meat is limited to British beef, right? And sometimes you can get Australian beef if you want halal. You can get Australian beef in Costco. Or sometimes I think now they're introducing like USDA prime beef from Costco, but in the UK. So in Japan, they've got a bunch of different options. So I don't believe there is any sort of halal options if you do eat halal or anything like that, but they have USDA beef, which is the cheapest one. And bear in mind, a lot of people in Japan, I think, like Costco because the beef and the meat is so cheap because it comes from America. the more expensive meat comes from Japan.
But
Which-
even then, it wasn't that expensive for us.
It
Yeah,
wasn't
for
that
us.
expensive. But for someone in Japan, it might be more expensive because Japanese salaries. You have like Japanese chicken, like thighs in Japan are more expensive than the breast, which in the UK
It's the other
breast
way
is
around.
more
Yeah.
expensive than thighs.
Yeah.
You can buy Japanese thighs in bulk. You can buy pork, and you can get Japanese pork, or you can get Canadian pork, which is very different. Like there's so many different varieties and options. And if you wanted to, you can get A5 Wagyu steaks, which per steak is not that much money.
Yeah, I think if you stay in an apartment,
Yeah,
definitely go to Costco,
100%.
get some of the meats. And because to buy the steaks from Costco is going to be 10 times cheaper than going to like a yakiniku.
Way.
Although it
more than
wasn't
10
even
times
that,
cheaper.
although it wasn't even that expensive, obviously for us, and we went to yakiniku
worked
to eat
out-
Kobe beef.
It worked out to be for an A5 Wagyu steak. It turned out to be 30 British pounds to
Yeah,
buy.
yeah.
Which, when you think about it,
And that's in bulk.
and no, that's per one steak.
Oh, per one steak?
That's
okay.
one steak.
Oh,
Because
so they
it's-
sell one steak singularly?
Yeah,
Oh, I
because
didn't know
it's an
that, yeah.
A5 Wagyu steak. Of course, they're going to sell it as one steak by
I
itself.
thought we're selling it like
No,
multiple
no.
packets. Never mind.
One steak costs 30 British pounds, which for Japan standards is quite expensive. But when you think about
You'd spend that £120 that on a plate in the UK
on a normal steak,
in a restaurant.
for like a normal steak,
No. Yeah.
because you can't get
Yeah.
A5 Wagyu here.
No, you
And
can't.
even if you were going to get A5 Wagyu, you'd be paying like 200, 300 pounds for
Yeah.
a steak
Yeah,
versus 30 pounds. I'll take the 30 pounds any day.
literally.
And they had a lot of other products. They had a lot of Bibigo products
A
as
lot
well.
of fresh, like their fresh sushi counter looked unreal, like unreal.
It went on for miles as well.
Went on for miles, different variations, and it wasn't just like the standard sushi you see like in like America. It was like proper traditional Japanese
Oh, yeah.
sushi.
Well,
Like
that makes sense.
like it's not the
not
Western,
California
yeah,
rolls and
it's not
stuff
the
like
westernized sushi. It was like proper Japanese sushi and sashimi that was
Yeah.
so cheap and
It
so
was
fresh.
great. And don't get me wrong, I mean, we could have done that if we were staying at an apartment, which, like I said, if you are interested in staying at an apartment in Japan,
Definitely go to Costco.
definitely go to Costco. But then I'd also recommend, and I highly recommend, booking your stay through Marriott Bonvoy
100%.
on that, because obviously you're going to get the best service. But in general, get your stuff from Costco, like especially if you're staying in an apartment, but also if you're staying in a hotel and you just want to get your snacks for the week, just go to Costco. It literally didn't take us long to get there.
Funnily enough, as well, when we went to Costco, I think they'd only been in Japan for like 25 years because they were celebrating their 25-year anniversary. So it's fairly new to Japan.
I'd say so, but I think it's been there long enough where it's sort
established.
of like there are stuff that you see there. Like, bear in mind, like there's a lot of imports. Well, not even imports. There's Heinz beans that they sell there for the Japanese market, which I imagine is probably because of Australians, because the Australians also eat beans.
I think it's for the expats, yeah.
Because there's not many British expats in that area. There's mostly a lot of American products as well. Like you can get Hellman's mayonnaise, which I have never actually in America they call it Best Foods. It depends on which coast you live in America, but there was Hellman's mayonnaise, which you can't find in Japan at all. Like that shocked me because it was like normally most of the mayonnaise
it's
is
Kewpie, which is like the best
you
mayonnaise.
You can get 2 kilogram boxes of Kewpie mayo. We also bought Baumkuchen in bulk and Castella cakes in bulk, which for us to buy in the supermarkets would cost us an arm and a leg in comparison.
Or like to even buy them as gifts from the airport.
Oh yeah, exactly. And we bought it from Japan and we just sent it via post. It was just kind of insane to buy that kind of stuff at Costco. You can also buy a lot of like Ichiran ramen. Like you can buy those kits. They're
Designer goods.
designer goods
Yeah.
as well, like
Cosmetics.
handbags and cosmetics and things like that, and snacks in general. And to be fair with you, it was just a great experience. Now let's just forget about all of that and talk
The
about the main
food
reason.
court.
It's the food court. The food
So
court
good.
is just on another level. They had this thing which is a drink that's basically like a citrus drink. In Arabic we call it laringe, but basically it's like
What's it?
I can't remember the name of
Yeah.
it, but it's a type of, it looks like a lime, but when you cut into it, it's got an orange color. So it's a type of citrus that they have in Japan, but it's amazing. You can get like a slushy
So
made out
good.
of that.
So good.
I love that. I think also the food court options there were just amazing.
The Hokkaido ice cream.
The Hokkaido ice cream was that Hokkaido ice cream?
Yeah. Hokkaido milk ice cream.
I didn't have ice cream at Costco.
So like Costco Japan, because obviously everyone knows if you love Japan, everyone knows that the best sort of like milk comes from Hokkaido. Like it's like a selling point because anything that's got a Hokkaido milk is going to be 10 times better than something that's like standard Japanese milk, although that would be good as well. They had vanilla ice cream in Japan made with Hokkaido milk.
Okay, I didn't know.
Costco.
I didn't know that they sell that at Costco.
Real.
Yeah, I didn't try the ice cream there.
So
but
good.
One thing that I did like was, and I think a lot of American fans of Costco enjoy, is they had this thing called the combo pizza, which, was something that I've never tried in my life because we never had the combo pizza in the UK. In the UK, we have what? Cheese,
chicken, pepperoni.
And pepperoni pizza.
Yeah.
Which I don't even think they do the chicken pizza anymore.
No, they still do.
They do? Okay,
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I've had it in a while. And also one thing to mention is that the hot dogs are pork.
Can I just say, the hot dogs in Japan are amazing. And what I really love about Japan is like when you go to the drink section, so once you collect your cup and your hot dog, they have like these machines where you can grate fresh onions onto the hot dog.
Yes, and that's
we need that in the UK.
They had that in the US, but they removed them in the US.
But we need it in the UK.
We need it in the UK. I think we need a lot of other things in the UK because now I think they
and they had relish as well.
Relish, yeah, they had
that was
relish.
good.
They had ketchup and mustard.
And mayonnaise, I think.
No,
they
mayo.
didn't? Okay.
In the US, they don't have mayo, and I think that's why they don't have mayo there. In the UK, for some reason, we have mayo for the hot dogs. But one thing we tried the hot dog. The hot dog was on a sesame bun.
It was amazing.
Which was interesting, and it was amazing, yeah.
Costco Japan is one of the best Japans I've ever been to.
It was a huge hot dog as well. Like,
it was massive.
The hot dog in the UK is huge, but this was a bigger hot dog. It tasted better. Yeah. And I don't know if that's because it was a pork hot dog versus a beef hot dog.
I think so. It had a different texture, different color, different consistency.
It had a nice pop to it as well.
I love the pop. Different taste as well. It tasted a lot nicer.
So I do prefer the hot dog that was there, but also at the same time, they had just so much other things. Like they had this prosciutto ham sandwich, which we didn't have, but it looked interesting. They had the pizzas, which we tried, was still really good.
Oh, the pizzas are fantastic.
What else did we try? Oh,
the pizza aren't as greasy as they are in every other Costco, which was just like it was just amazing.
Bulgogi bake.
Bulgogi bake.
Bulgogi bake was amazing because we have something similar in the UK,
good.
Which is called the steak bake, which I thought the steak bake was basically the bulgogi bake, but it's different.
No, it's different. This one had more flavor.
The bulgogi bake was just amazing and had cheese inside as well. And I was like, yo.
I feel like the ones in Japan, like they were properly filled. Like there was like in some places you have like more sauce to meat ratio. This was done
everything was meat.
Like everything was meat. This was done and like fresh.
And it was good.
Meat.
And it was great. Good. It was just amazing. And bear in mind
the chicken bucket.
The chicken bucket. We'll talk about the chicken bucket in a second. The bulgogi bake is something that you can only get in Costco in Japan and in Korea at the moment. I think it originated in Korea and it made its way to Japan. But the bulgogi bake was a highlight. I think also at the same time they had the chicken bucket, which it was a lot of food. We ordered it and it was super cheap.
I don't think we ate dinner that night.
No, because it was just so much food.
It was so much food. And it was like dirt cheap.
It was super cheap.
And it tasted good.
The chicken bucket was basically wedges, half wedges and half chicken fingers. Or tenders or whatever, and it was just like, this is amazing. The one thing I'll say that I think might need improving in Costco Japan, I didn't like the fact that you had to stand up.
But I think they do that for efficiency reasons.
I do, but I get that, but I would like to sit down and eat, especially with the amount of food that we were eating.
But if you did that, you wouldn't leave.
Yeah, true, because you'd always get a refill. The drinks as well were really good as well.
The drinks. Oh, I think there was there tea?
Yes, you can get tea. You can get like actual tea, like iced tea and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean like Japanese style tea.
Yeah.
So like oji-cha and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they had a separate machine for that. They also had a separate machine for the drinks. So you had Mountain Dew.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
You had Pepsi and like Pepsi Zero. This is another thing. So they have Pepsi Max, but it's called Pepsi Zero. But it doesn't taste like Pepsi Max. It tastes like actual Pepsi.
Just everything's nice in Japan.
Anyway,
like, let's be honest, Japan's just the best.
They also had this sort of, I wouldn't say orange soda. It was like made out of mikan, which is like mandarins.
I like that. It was banging. It was so
great.
good. It was so
amazing.
good.
I liked it as well. I mean, I did enjoy it. I think that the Costco Japan experience was just 10 out of 10, but highly recommended. If you are driving, go to Costco, free parking, whatnot, or take a taxi. And that's something that I will recommend in Japan. Like a lot of people will say, oh, maybe don't use Ubers in other countries. If you use an Uber in Japan, you actually get a proper taxi that comes to you, because I think there's some sort of regulations and stuff that you actually have to be a taxi to do Uber and stuff like that. So I would highly recommend just ordering a taxi using Uber or
And people
or
like
other
to say,
services.
oh, taxis and whatnot is expensive. It's really not that expensive.
If I guess depends on where you're coming from in your country, and bear in mind we're coming from the UK where traveling like 15 minutes costs you £60 in a taxi.
Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I think the taxi, when we went into it, it was cheaper to travel by taxi in Japan than it was to travel to like on a tube at work.
Yeah, depending, but I guess there are some times in which taxis are quite expensive,
Yeah,
because when I was in Japan, there was a time where I bought my yukatas when I was buying my kimonos and stuff, and for some reason I was like, oh man, I put my shoes in the bag and I'm walking on these clogged and I don't know how to use them, and I was just worried. I was like, I'm gonna fall down the stairs and I'm gonna get blisters, and I was like, no, there's no way I'm doing this. So I just saw the taxi and I was like, can you take me from
I think
Dotonbori
if you
to
pre-book it, it's cheaper.
No, I guess it depends on the time of day as well, because it cost me like 2,000 yen
What, for a taxi?
for a taxi.
That's not expensive.
from Dotonbori to Honmachi, but
That's not expensive at all.
that's another thing. I think the more time you spend in Japan, you start thinking, you forget that you're spending your own currency and you're spending Japanese currency, because you're like, oh, this is only £20, this is only £50.
Yeah. I
But
think
then it
when
gets to
the
a point-
longer in Japan, you realize like if I was going yen to yen and not pounds to yen,
It
then
gets
yeah,
expensive.
this is very
Because
expensive.
that was the moment that it clicked for me. I was like, wait a minute, I'm spending way too much yen. That was a waste of 2,000 yen. And 2,000 yen for someone from the UK is nothing. Like,
Yeah, but
it's
I think when
£10.
you go to many restaurants and you buy this and that, and you click on like 2,000 yen is quite a lot for them.
Yeah,
And
because
like
it can buy you so much food.
literally, like I think one time like. I think we spent like 3,000 yen in the izakaya, and one time I'll never forget this. Like I pulled out like 50,000 yen in cash, and the izakaya, like the owner of the izakaya, was staring at me hard, like he was shocked to see that much money. But to us, it was like nothing. It was like
Monopoly money.
this
You're
is
like,
like
what is this?
like this isn't nothing for us, because if we translate it to pounds, it would have been like what, maybe 100 quid? Not even.
Would it be 100 quid?
I don't
Wait,
know.
one
Google
second.
what 50,000 yen is.
So at the current exchange rate, 50,000 yen would have been £260.
Oh, so not even 100 quid, but still, like it, like 260 pounds in the UK is like nothing, pretty much. So like this guy, well, come on, like it, like that will get you like a decent
That
meal,
can
and that's
buy you
what
a
it, like.
Nintendo Switch. you
Yeah,
know.
but like nothing more than that, literally.
Yeah.
So like, I pulled out 50,000 yen, and the guy is like he's
Yeah,
never
it's a lot
seen
of
so
money.
much money, like hand to hand, like as if like I'd robbed a bank. I didn't, obviously, it's my own money, but like the guy was in like complete shock, and I'm like pulling out like it's nothing, and then I'm like, bitch, why was he like staring at me? And then we obviously googled how much 50,000 yen would like 50,000 yen is a lot to them, but it's only 260 quid to us. Like, to put it in context, I pulled out 50,000 yen worried that I didn't have enough to pay for this meal, and the meal was only 3,000 yen, and we had like we ordered several things from this izakaya, like from a higher price menu, and I had several drinks of alcohol, and we only
Sure.
paid 3,000 yen. That's a
Between
lot
us.
between us. That was a lot for them, but yet I still pulled out about 50,000 yen.
Anyway, so that's something that we're going to be talking about in a future episode, actually. And I think next week's episode, we should talk about the izakaya experience in Japan, because I think that was just a great one.
Japan, all in all, it's just fantastic.
It's
the people,
fantastic, and
like I love Japan
We'll
so much.
get into it in the next episode, but thanks for listening, guys. And remember, if you are interested in going to Japan, remember, be sure to book via Japan Airlines and with Marriott Bonvoy, because guess what? They hooked us up and they did really show us a good time in Japan. So shout out. Anyway, see you guys next week for our Izakaya episode.
Bye.